What's up, everyone? This is Thomas Edwards from thomasedwardsjr.com. Welcome to the Weekly Intention, where I teach people how to live a better life right now using practical lessons from personal stories. So today we're talking about a concept I like to call the 20% shift. What is it? What does it mean? What does it do with you? And how can it impact your life? Now, this was a concept I've been tinkering around with for quite some time. And it's because in my journey of personal development, and I've seen transformation take place within myself, but also with my clients, I thought there would be a better way to really describe what transformation can look like if done over a long period of time. I mean, what are some of the metrics behind transformation? How do you measure it? How do you know what your progress looks like? I mean, the possibilities are endless. And what I decided to do was take a look at my improvements over time. What did I do to create transformation? And how was I able to make transformation happen so quickly? So it all came down to this idea that when I set goals for myself, whether they're daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, year-long goals, but whatever it is, in any part of my life, I think about what does 100% of that transformation look like? And then I think about what does 20% of that transformation look like? So for example, let's say, I'm someone who, when I moved to LA, stopped working out. And it probably started to happen when I was in my latter days in New York City. But when I got here, working out just wasn't happening. Like I was playing volleyball once a week, maybe once every other week, but traditional working out was not in the cards for me. And my body fat increased, my weight increased. I was gassed every time I did something remotely cardio specific. It was just a mess, and I just wasn't healthy. Blood pressure had increased, cholesterol increased. So, the possibilities around how bad my health was just kept going. And what ended up happening over time was my decision to shut that down by saying, you know what, when I wake up, I'm just going to work out in some capacity. I tried running, I tried push-ups and sit-ups, squats, whatever it possibly could be in order to just move, get my body moving. And the idea was to do something every single day. Now, to go from no activity to activity every single day is very, very difficult. It's a challenge. Some people will say that it's not, and it's based on choice, and it is. When it comes to someone going from zero to all the time, you want to have some structure around it to allow yourself to be successful. Because without structure and accountability, you won't be able to get from zero to every day. This is why most New Year's resolutions fail. They don't work because there isn't true structure and accountability around it. So when I think about that every day of working out, I said to myself, well, what does 20% of that look like? 20% is about, let's say, 1 or 2 days a week of just working out. So I decided to take on basketball, which allowed me to run and build my cardio 1 time a week. And then I also decided that I was going to go on a walk. I was going to walk with my daughter to the park, run around with her, but do something on the cardio side too, once a week. So I created 2 opportunities every single week for me to do something that was going to improve my health. And what I noticed over time, and actually this is before I even took on swimming. Swimming was then becoming another thing I added on. But what I noticed over time is that my cardio and my physical fitness just got better slowly. Then I decided to incorporate swimming into the mix because I wanted to learn how to swim. And I took a class that had me swimming every day for about a half hour. And so to go from not working out at all to playing basketball 1 time a week, swimming for about 30 minutes every day, at least learning to, and running around with my daughter for 1 day a week. All of a sudden now I had all seven days covered. But the thing is that 20% shift. What is 20% of the 100% goal that I wanted to accomplish? And that became feasible. That became doable for me once I was able to measure it down. Because to look at 7 days a week of activity, that can be very daunting for you as it was for me. But when you break it down into 20%, that seems more doable. And the moment you get that 20% done, your mind immediately starts to think about what else can it do. And once that 20% that you might even think is daunting as well, once that 20% gets done, you start thinking, well, what else can I do? And you start to add, like the way I did with swimming. And so I bring this up because we all have an opportunity to make a 20% shift in our love, in our lifestyle, how we show up as leaders, and also in a legacy that we are leaving, that we are creating as we are alive. The lesson I want to share with you today is that 20% can create transformation beyond your wildest dreams. And while you may not necessarily be at 100% yet, that 20% will change your life regardless if you get to 20%, 100% or not. And when you take a look at the level of the stage or the phase of your life that requires the most support, requires the most transformation, I'm sure you're looking at what 100% effort can look like. I'm sure you're thinking about what 100% all in can look like for you. And that might be intimidating. You might be thinking to yourself, who is that person that's going to accomplish all that? And I get it. I was there too. I mean, when I thought about the idea around swimming, someone who had never swam before in his life, now 32, 33 years old, trying to learn how to swim, I didn't think that was possible either. But I made a choice to decide, instead of thinking I'm just going to go in and start swimming, let me just learn the basics. Let me just learn how to float. That was my 20%, learning how to float and just be comfortable with the idea of floating. And then once I became comfortable with the idea of floating, then I started to move my legs and then move my arms till I got to a place where I was able to swim. I'm still practicing to this day, but definitely not at 20% anymore. My 20% was floating. So my question for you is, where in your love, lifestyle, leadership, and legacy do you find yourself looking at 100% possibility, being intimidated by it, and then as a result, not making any movement and keeping you at zero? And what is your intention to create a 20% shift in that part of your life that will create transformation, will create momentum, and get you eventually towards that 100%? We all have an opportunity to create transformation, and when we see the end goal, it might seem very intimidating. It might seem like it's impossible. But the possibility starts at 20%. And in my experience and in my clients' experiences, that 20% shift has made all the difference in our lives. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I want to help each of you live a better life full of connection, experiences, value, and purpose. And you can do it much faster than you really think. And this 20% shift is a very, very big part of that. And so if you want to learn more about that 20% shift and you want to know how to apply that to your life, let's get that support that can help you make that shift. Go to thomasedwardsjr.com/talk and you get all the information about what that 20% shift can look like. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this because they too can live a better life with the right intention. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. Until next week, this is Thomas saying keep it simple, be amazing, and live intentionally.